my name is Nur Asyikin binti Roslan. I am your moderator for today's discussion. Today we have nice topic to be discussed together. Well, now we were approached by three pretty people to share about the issue we are going to talk about. Introduce Sister Maisara, Sister Khairul and Sister Alia. Nowadays, social media platforms such as TikTok are growing increasingly popular, with many users of all ages, religion and races using them. TikTok is a social networking platform where users may create video by lip-syncing or dancing to famous music. TikTok video can be shared with friends or larger community of TikTok users. Users can also use the app to follow other content providers without having to submit their own. People can become virally famous on TikTok. Users become addicted to TikTok because it is so addictive. Furthermore, the youngster has been using the app for several hours every day, and the content on TikTok is sometimes suspicious and not from reliable sources. As a result, many users, primarily young people, will simply follow and trust it, especially if the video has a lot of views and likes. Youngsters are good at spreading new information without first evaluating its veracity. Furthermore, in the 21st century, people want to look classy rather than outdated, so they will do anything that seems simple in order to catch the attention of many people and become known. Sister Maisara, I want to ask something from you. Based on your observation and research, what is the reason for the issue's importance?
Okay, so there are 4 reasons on the importance of this issue. Firstly, because there is inappropriate content and influence. Nowadays, people on TikTok just pick out whatever they find it right for them to encourage others to become open-minded, which sometimes may lead to disobedience to Allah's command. Not only that, the basis of TikTok is dancing. This could attract the non-mahram to have bad desire towards the individual. Even the Muslim netizen nowadays, they are no longer feeling ashamed of themselves in the social media. Verily, this is contrary to what Allah has mentioned in the Quran, Surah An-Nur, verse 10. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولولا فضل الله عليكم ورحمته وأن الله تواب حكيم. You would have suffered if Allah's favor and mercy had not been extended to you, and if Allah had not been accepting repentance always. Secondly, because of the spread of fake news that may cause uncertainty. TikTok is where people make short videos containing various information about specific topics and like related to beauty, knowledge, culture, religion, and etc. Some of those people who did this, they might not even have a strong base on that topic, and just merely posting it without checking the authenticity first. Other than that, idolizing infidels. So we are Muslim. There was a non-Muslim girl from the US who started to use this app and got a lot of people's attention from all around the world. The big influence that she has could make people, including Muslims, to follow through TikTok. If we do not seek knowledge from the right sources of Islamic teachings, we are more delicate to be one of them. And last but not least, to avoid the lower productivity. TikTok is very addictive, we know that, which is quite worrying because once people watch it, their eyes will be stuck on it for many hours. We should prioritize our time for ibadah, for worshipping Allah instead. So in addition, there is a dua to prevent us from being lazy that can be recited in our daily life here. And I think that's all from me for this part. Thank you.
Ways to acquire accurate knowledge from social media. As according to Asyikin, that the popular social media such as TikTok has the dumping of information requires wisdom of virtual citizens to filter it. The use of knowledge and the authentic news need to be separated from doctrines and information that can be harmful to human beings before it received and disseminated. On that concern, there are 3 ways should be given attention when interacting with any information disseminated through social media platform. The first step is to check the authenticity of sources. The authenticity of the sources can be done in the three steps. First, identifying the original source of information is the most important step for determining the further action. Make sure the information received from the authentic sources and have the authoritative value. If the source cannot be ascertained, avoid to trusting or spreading it to the others as a precautionary measures. Secondly, understand the meaning and context of the information. If the original sources of information has been identified and confirmed, it's our responsibility to better understand the meaning of the information received if we want to believe or disseminate it to others. If we're not careful, worrying that misunderstanding the meaning and the context or relevant information can be detrimental to ourselves and also towards the others. As mentioned in Surah Al-Isra, verse 36, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants people do not follow what you have no knowledge of. Third, information analysis is received. The public must also have the power to analyze all information received, especially those that come through the social media. As is simple, do cross-reference to the other authoritative sources before deciding to a position. Avoid to continuing to believe information that come through one sources only. The second way is the content of the social media must have evidence and proof. If someone makes an unproven claim that cannot be verified without data, scientific analysis, or other form of real-world evidences, they must cite a reliable source to back up their claim. If the content provider cannot offer users convincing evidence to support their claim, which is frequently in the case, the users should not take their information seriously. From Islamic perspective, knowledge is true, confident, and well-founded belief. From Imam Al-Ghazali once explained in his book Al-Munikit min Al-Dalal that the true knowledge, hakikat al-ilmun, that is knowledge of nature, and rank yakin, which al-ilmu al-yakin, meaning that if something holds its claim to be knowledge but is not convincing, then the handle is not real science. It's just an unfounded allegation.
Oh, okay, I see. Sometimes there are old videos that become viral and criticized by the netizen. What do you think? It is still valid and can be accepted?
Yeah, it's related to the invalid information. That's why the third way to acquire accurate knowledge is the knowledge must be valid in time. The validity of time can be seen as the timeliness of the data, which refers to the time expectation for the accessibility and the availability of the information. The validity of a time of the resources received is so very crucial in order to avoid the outdated and corrupted data. The abundance of information and its many sources make it more difficult to recognize what is relevant, valid, and real time. So, from your question, we must check the date of the information and must be aware that the reposting all news stories information does not mean that they are relevant to the current events. So, the information or knowledge that is corrupted is considered useless and irrelevant, so it cannot be used or referred to.
How about from Islamic perspective on acquiring knowledge?
Okay, so based on the Islamic perspectives on acquiring knowledge, Muslims have a religious obligation to pursue knowledge according to Islam. Since performing it will be rewarded by Allah, we need to put a lot of effort to gain beneficial knowledge and share it with others for the well-being of the Ummah. Just like in the Quran that Allah has mentioned, those who believe among you and those who have been given knowledge will be exalted by Allah. That is why the source of knowledge is very, very important, not just merely getting it from the TikTok by unqualified people. Okay, so yeah, that's all from me. Thank you.
Now, Sister Alia, why do we have to gain knowledge or confirm that our knowledge is from reliable sources?
Thank you, Ms. Moderator, Sister Nur Asyikin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Before I continue in explaining why we have to acquire knowledge from reliable sources, I want to start with a hadith that is directed by Anas bin Malik from Nabi Muhammad SAW. Seeking knowledge is a duty upon every Muslim, and he who imparts knowledge to those who do not deserve it. It is like putting a necklace of jewels, pearls, or gold in the necks of swine. So seeking knowledge is a significant requirement for each Muslim. That is, all mandate is for we to know about Him, discovering about Allah and obtain the truth. That is, we will know about His creation, revealing what is permissible and forbidden, and as a reminder for us that our existence in this world is a mere test, and our eternal life is in hereafter. Firstly, why do we have to acquire knowledge from reliable sources, as in hindering us from getting a wrong worldview? In Islam, worldview is based on 3 fundamental principles. That is, belief in Allah, that is unique, monotheistic, transcendent, eternal, all-powerful, all-seeing, all-hearing, all-knowing. Allah is gender-free, so nobody can be compared. And also, He has His own attribute that we human beings can call Him by His beautiful names. Whereas, it will show how capable He is, and show that nobody can make what Allah makes. Nobody can do what Allah does. In Surah Al-Hajj, verse 73, this surah is a brief description about human beings associating than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, such as sun, carving, and other things that be a replacement, and other things as the replacement of God. Other than that, this verse also talking about how human beings want to create what Allah create. That is, Mushrikin want to create a fly. Scholars and helping each other, but no, they still can do a single fly. It shows how unworthy and irrational they are. As this verse has a deep meaning, as Allah is revealing their ignorance of the product that did not use their intellect at all. It is a massive lesson, human being, that is, we have no capability in creating fly or any other Allah creations, as He is the only creator of the universe, the most powerful, and nobody could have the same power as the mighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These challenges show how weak the Mushrikin are. How weak Mushrikin are. This challenge shows the Mushrikin are literally weak in their intellect and rationality. Other than that, human beings try to imitate Allah's creation by creating airplanes, helicopters, but it is comparable to the fly. But it is failed to be comparable with fly, as fly have its own uniqueness. Human beings create helicopters, airplanes by using fly as their model. Nonetheless, fly is far more superior than any technology human beings make. Fly is a living being. However, airplanes and helicopters only can be used for a short period of time and only work if acted by a human being. So it shows how weak we are against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of the entire universe. Secondly, why we have to acquire knowledge from a reliable sources, as it will strengthen our spirituality. As the concept of spirituality etymologically, anything that associate with spirit and soul, and not into physical matter. According to Abdul Hakim Murad, human beings are made up by 4 constructed parts. That is genes, body, akal, mind, ruh, spirit, and nafs, self. Then that it has been described as the presence of a relationship with Allah that affects the individual self-worth, sense of meaning and connectedness with others. In Islam, the rational quality is understood by the core theme that comprises belief rituals, that is, the 6 beliefs in Islam. As in following the set of rituals and codes of Islamic religion, human beings are striving closer to Allah, and also human beings are striving in becoming closer with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also finding their actual personal worth with the actualization, and also finding their personal worth and actual. If we gain the knowledge from the unreliable sources, it will affect our spirituality, shaping human behavior. Also, having a good spirituality will maintain our attitude. Although we are in a darkest time, with following an unreliable sources, it will wear out our faith. There will be pessimism and hopelessness, and human beings will deny the truth. Human beings should not stop in gaining knowledge, as we will never meet the end. It will always be the start of the line. Also, we fail in gaining the knowledge we want. It doesn't mean that we fail for the rest of our life. Our efforts and time are not useless at all. However, it is useful for you to take it as a lesson and making sure that you are not repeating the same mistake again. Human beings still have countless time to gain knowledge, to learn and gain countless insight. Human beings should not be disappointed, or other than being patient and never surrender, as in Surah Al-Hud, verse 150. I think that's all from me. Thank you for having me today. Assalamualaikum.
In conclusion, we must know that not every inch of information, mostly in TikTok, is useful and appropriate. we should know how to make sure that the content we get is from reliable sources, as we may check their authenticity of the sources by getting the proof, and the knowledge must be valid within the time we want to use it. Thus, the elders must play their role in guiding the youngster in making sure they are on the right path. Other than that, spreading fake news may cause uncertainty in the community, as they will idolizing people that did not practicing good attitudes and moral value. It is also will lowering human being productivity, as they are getting the wrong message regarding this matter. Nevertheless, based on the Islamic perspective, Islam is encouraging everyone to widen their knowledge, as learning is part of Iman. So with that, our discussion ends today. Forgive about being mistaken. See you in the future. Thank you to our panelists. Goodbye everyone.